Hello everyone and welcome back to this video. In today's video I'm going to be doing a prediction from November 4th all the way to November 10th. I have three piles right here. The D4 represents pile number 1, the D20 is to represent pile number 2, and finally the D6 is to represent pile number 3. Once you're ready, you can look down in the description or in the comments below to see the timestamps and go to any of the piles that you have chosen. If you are on mobile, I would recommend you to look at the comment sections, because on mobile sometimes the link doesn't work in the description, but it does in the comments. So if you're looking in your phone, I will go there to check for the timestamps. So anyway, we have a little bit of everything in here. We have tarot cards, we have affirmation cards, we have oracle cards. So whenever you're ready, I'll see you in your pile. Okay, hello friends that chose pile number 1. I'm gonna put this away and let's start from the bottom, because I like to start with tarot cards and then start showing the other cards. So let me put them right there. And again, this reading is for the days November 4th to November 10th. So it's a weekly reading. First we have the Judgment. So there will be a few decisions that you will be taking during this week. And there are decisions that only you can make. So very important decisions, and what I see is that this decision will be to something new, new beginnings, new ideas, and most likely related to job, since one represents fire. And it can also be something regarding your passion. So and all of this can be mixed together. Like it can be a decision that is about a new job, and maybe you are leaving something that you're passionate about to start something that will give you more economic balance. Or it can be the other way around. Maybe you are trying, it's so hard to decide because you're leaving something that's giving you an income right now, and you will follow something you're passionate about. And either way, there is a decision that you will make that will correlate into something new coming into your life, a creation of something new. And finally, we have that at the end of the week, we have news that are coming. So all of this will create, like your decisions will create something new, and you will also have news that will make you finally decide. So if you have not been deciding yet, if you were waiting for something, then this news will be what finally will make you decide, and it will be what it will also bring this something new. In here, the 8 of Wands is represented as arrows of love. So this news can be a new relationship that you've been waiting for. Maybe someone that was going to get back to you and now decided to say yes when you asked them out. But I also see that for many of you, this arrows of love is actually for arrows of something that you love to do, like something that you're passionate about, a job that you're passionate about. And that's why the Ace of Wands is appearing. That's why it's something that you're very, very passionate about. And yes, for many of you, it will be a new relationship, or maybe stepping up the relationship, going to the next level. But I see that this decision for many of you will be, maybe you really wanted to start a new business, so you will finally get to that. Maybe you are an artist. I know that artists are ones of the most that are the most afraid to get started, because our society has that view of the starving artist. So it's something that it appears a lot when someone wants to step up and decide to follow their heart. So this arrows or love will create and finally make you decide to start this something new. So let's keep moving with the other cards and get some clarity. So we have this chop wood and mending. Okay, so with mending, since you will be taking new decisions and things will be starting, there is something that needs to be fixed in your life before you will actually be able to take those first steps, before you are able to take that judgment, that decision. And this can be anything from real tangible things that needs to be fixed, like fixing a car so you can be able to make it to work, all the way to fixing a relationship, fixing maybe a friendship, an argument, mending something that is torn, something that has been broken, that is damaged. And this can also mean you, as you see, this is right under the judgment card. So it can be that you are decided to finally take the step, to be the first one to take the step to mend the situation, be it a relationship, be it a friendship that got broken, be it anything that needs to be mending. Also, I can see that this week you will realize that we all make mistakes, and there is nothing wrong stepping up, owning on your mistakes, and fixing them, making the decisions to fix them, whatever they are. But especially in relationships, since they can hurt us and they can hurt someone else as well. So this card is very nice. It's very important to know that some things deserve to be mending. Some things can be broken, like again, like a relationship or something material. But many things can be fixed. Just because it's broken doesn't mean it will not work again. In the case of a relationship especially, not always something that is broken at the moment and not working has to end. Sometimes it just needs forgiveness, and it needs some work that you will need to do on the other person as well. As you can see, these cute fairies are working together. So in the case of a relationship, it's not only you. Yes, you will decide, and you most likely you will be the first to take that step, but it requires everyone in the relationship to work together. And there are only two, but it can be a family matter, it can be something work related with everyone, not anyone, but everyone has to agree to a solution and things like that. So finally we have chop wood, which represents work. So I can see that mending, again, it will require some work to do. It won't be just easy as asking for forgiveness or you forgiving someone, depending of what happened in the situation. So it won't be hard. I mean, it's doable, but it will require a little bit of work. And I think it's very pretty that here you see the bunting that they're making, that they're fixing. I see one right here as well. So it's kind of like they're working here and mending it, and then it's up here for display, already all fixed and pretty. This card also represents being grounded. So you will need to be grounded. You will need some meditation, some introspection in order to fix things. You when you fix things, they cannot be done quickly. You cannot rush to it. Like, it requires skill and precision. And it also means small steps. As you very well know, when you chop the wood, it's just the first step so you can have wood for fire, either for cooking or just to stay warm. And even in today's age, especially here in Alaska, that's very, very common that people chop their own wood and they have a reserve so they can have wood at their fire. So see this as just a starting step of mending. It will be here too, you see the first step. So it's very small steps. So that fire, that passion can be recovered, and it can be fixed again. And it can be anything. We all know that fire represents love and passion, but it can be love for a sister, it can be love for another kind of family member, just the love you have. If we usually don't really love our coworkers, but we might love our job. So mending any kind of distress that might happen in the work area is still good, so we can go back to enjoying our job or our place of work or task and so on. So I see pride in relationships. So again, I just feel that for so many of you, this fixing these new things are just around relationships, either being family, work, or loved ones, like boyfriend, girlfriend, husbands, and so on, wives. We see pride, but we see the good side of pride. We see, I love myself. That's good. That's not being proud and rejecting someone or thinking you're better than anyone. It's just love for yourself. And then it says, I see myself in everyone. So if there's anyone that you need to ask forgiveness to, or you need to forgive them, see yourself in them. Understand if they make the mistake, why that happened. Do they really deserve a second chance? Like, see yourself in them. And how would you feel if you were in their situation? And finally, in the relationship, it says, I am attracted to those people who serve my higher good. And that's a very lovely affirmation. So by your higher good, don't think that you are trying to be manipulative or that you're going to be using people, because your higher good can mean learning something in this lifetime, learning mending things, learning to work for your things, learning to take good judgments. So your higher good can be making peace with family, can mean making peace with boyfriend, with your husband, with your wife, anything. So if you still feel attracted to them, even though you might in your head feel that they wrong you, there might be a reason. I mean, these people are there to save your higher good. These people are part of your lesson in this life. And just to continue, I have two more cards that are affirmations. Oops. And let's see. It says, when I think I've surrendered, I surrender more. In this case, I think it's like surrender to the idea of working for it and fixing it, mending it. Surrender to the idea that you love yourself and others, and surrender to the idea that it's okay to look for people that will help you in your higher good. And finally, the very last card that we have here, it says, when I lean on certainty and faith, I change my mind about the world I see. So you might have to change the way you see the someone or the situation that requires mending. You might have to try to be certain that whatever mistake happened, it wasn't on purpose and it was that a mistake. You will change your mind and have faith that this can be mending, that it will take work but it's doable, that the situation is worth it, because it will bring this decisions that you will make, it will bring something new, it will bring something that is worth working for, and it's not going to be that hard. I mean, yes, it will require some work, but it's not something that you can not do, and it's definitely worth it, because hours of love, be it for family, for friendship, or for anything, are worth it. I mean, isn't love what we're here for? And again, just make sure to love yourself and respect yourself when you do this decision, and everything will be okay. And whatever you decide, it will be for your higher good. That's quite a reading for this week, but I really hope this was helpful for you. Let me know what you think about it. Don't forget to like this video, and if you don't mind subscribing to just one more channel here on YouTube, I will really appreciate it. So thank you so much, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye. Hello, my friends that chose pile number 2 with the D20. Let's move this out of the way and let's get the card spread, and get started with your reading for November 4th all the way to November 10th. Okay, we have 2 major arcana right here and only 1 minor, so I think, well, I see that is going to be quite a big week for you. So we start with the 2 of Wands, which means movement. It also means decisions from 2 paths. So the 2 of Wands sometimes relates to work, but it can be anything. Although I really feel it has something to do with, for many of you, will be something about choosing a different path in your career. But again, this can be for just anything that came to 2 paths. You have a bifurcation in your path and you have to choose to go one or the other. There's in this case you cannot take both paths because it's just one road and it divides itself. So there is some kind of decision that you have been holding on to, and this week will be the time to move forward through it. Okay, so most likely take the decision, or at least it will appear during this week. But then we have the moon. As we all know, the moon rules our feelings and emotions. So this decision will be very emotional for you. But don't, just try to relax, try to meditate, and maybe look for someone to advise you on this decision. And you do have the power. I see the Magician just right here, which is number 1, is starting, is creation, is the alchemy, that you have all the elements in your hands and you can do this, you can take this, and whatever you decide, you have the power in yourself to be the magician and to make it work. Of course, whatever you decide is going to lead you to a different path, but you can make either path work. In this case, because I see the Magician here, I see that there is no wrong decision. So both of them are good decisions. Both of them can work in your favor, but of course you are going to have to put in the work and make it work for you. I see that it's very, very emotional, and it's very, is getting a little bit of your energy worked up in a way, kind of like you're just too emotional about this decision. And you might feel that you are just afraid of not taking the right decision, but don't worry, you have the power to make anything you decide work. So let's move to the next cards and get some clarity in this with this oracle cards. And right here we see the same under this. We see a fork in the road. In this case, it's even showing more paths because a fork is like 4 paths splitting from 1, or even more, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So the 4 new paths and the 1 going back. So again, this means you are just in the exact point where you have to choose what path to follow. Which of these arrows are you going to take? It is definitely a time for a decision, and is right under both of them. So it's going to be an emotional decision. Yes, it's going to require you to calm yourself down. It is time to consider all the decisions that you have, most likely 2, but since this card appeared, it could be more, at least for some of you. And you need to see what are the pros and cons of each decision, because both of them, yes, you have the power to make them work, but each one means that you are giving up on the other path. So there will be some consequences. There will be a few things that you will have to left behind, but there's also things to gain. So I see that either path that you choose has things to gain and things to lose. So it's just up to you to see and decide. And the moon, since it's emotional, I feel that you might need to have your emotions to guide you, but also it can be that it should not be the only thing guiding you. I mean, I'm receiving very mixed feelings at the moment. So I will just tell you this. Yes, keep in considerations to your emotions, but don't make it the only thing to guide you, because emotions sometimes can be just so strong, and it could blind us sometimes. Not all the time, but definitely use your head as well as your emotions, as well as your heart. So keep that in mind. But it is important to show you that, again, either path that you choose will be a good one for you. And even this card as well, it has a very positive outcome. Presentation represents a positive outcome, whatever you choose, but it has to be done. It has to be a decision done with care and consideration. Like this nothing to rush. Take your time during this week to think about it and decide whenever you're ready. I don't see that you might be ready to choose, but it will definitely appear, and this decision will make itself present during this week. And some of you might very well decide already, but for sure it will present itself during this week. Next card we have All That Glitters. And if you know, the saying goes, not all that glitters is gold. So in this case, I will see, don't rely yourself only on the appearances. Like, go beyond, see what is underneath, and see if this shiny thing that is calling you, this path that looks very shiny and beautiful and golden, like it is the answer to all your problems or whatever you've been asking for, it might actually be deceiving. It might actually be masking something. But still is a very beautiful pile, so it might very well as well be what you want. So it is something that has potential for both of them, as you can see by this card. So again, just going with the rest of the cards, I see the same advice coming to you over and over, that whatever you decide, yes, you can make it work, but it needs some time to sit down and think, consider, and just don't rush into it. And you know, it is only natural to want something that looks so nice for your life, something that is really calling you and looks so attractive, that and it can represent more money from a job. It can just represent something that you want, a better life, something that you want to better yourself in. So that just shows that you want to get better, that you want a better life, a better relationship, better job. It's okay, you know, it's okay to like, and it's okay to want something better for yourself and your life. Let's take 2 more cards. And we have Perseverance. It says, I know that I can do whatever I set my mind to. And this card goes right with the meaning of the Magician. You can do whatever you want to accomplish. You have the power to make either path work. So with perseverance, you can make if you persevere, there won't be a wrong decision. And finally, I have Regret. It says, I know I cannot change the past. So whatever is in your past that is not allowing you to take this decision from this past at the moment, just know that there is no regret, and know that you cannot change the past. And I can, not only that for many of you will be something from the past not letting you move forward and just being what is keeping you in this at the beginning of this path that is dividing itself. But for many of you, it will actually the future is thinking, like, once you decide, you might regret it. So just don't let this possible regret hold you just because you think you might regret it. If you persevere, you have the power to make anything work. And I have 2 more cards. And it says the presence of love will always cast out fear. So again, when you're deciding, try to do it with love. And maybe try to ask someone that you love or that loves you for advice, because they will help you cast away this fear that you have about taking one of these paths that are presented to you. And finally, we have that my happiness is a direct reflection of my level of faith in the universe, which again goes with this. Don't regret. You, whatever is in the past, leave it in the past. You cannot change it, but you can look up for the future. You still have the future in your hands. If you move with faith, you won't be stuck. You won't. When you move with fear, it's very hard to attain what you want, because you move so slow, you move so carefully. So the universe is in your side, but you have to have faith that you do have the power to create anything you want. You do have the power of the alchemist, of the magician. You can make that which is iron turn into gold, not just and not just follow whatever something that glitters and might seem that it is what you want. You actually have to make it. Again, don't worry about the past. Yes, you might have regrets, and future regrets might be holding you, but just have faith in the universe, and have more than the universe. Sure, the universe moves everything, but you're part of the universe. So I would like to also invite you to try to work on having more faith in yourself and in love, and to love yourself, to love your family, and allow people that love you to help you. So I really hope you enjoyed this reading and that this has been useful. I wish you the very best for the week. And if you don't mind to subscribe to Just One Word channel, I will really appreciate it. I have only a few subscribers, and if you like to see more of this reading coming, please give it a like so I know that you like the weekly readings. And I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye. Okay, hello friends. That chose pile number 3 with the D6. Let's move this out of the way and get started with the reading right away. I like to start with tarot cards most of the time. And okay, we have 3 major arcanas in your reading, so it's gonna be an intense week. I can already see that. We got the High Priestess, the Hangman, and the Fool. So what a combination of cards. So I see that this week will be a week to ask yourself, what do you really want? To ask yourself, what are your goals? What are achievements that you want to accomplish before the year ends, or even for next year? And then I see that the Hangman comes to you like in the middle of the week to invite you to change your way of looking at things, so you can accomplish whatever it is that you want to accomplish, and that maybe it's a little bit stuck or slower than you want it to be. So you need to change the way you see things so you can move forward. And once you do that, then you will be able to take a leap of faith and have things started again. You will be changing a little bit your path, and that will make you move forward. So again, start by setting your goals, thinking what is it that you really want, changing the way you see the things, changing the way that you have been approaching this, the goal settings, the actions that you take to achieve those goals, and just everything. Change the way you see them. Deliberately change the way that you see them. Like, look around, read a new book about goal settings, or ask for advice. Anything that can make you see it differently, and that will lead you to the goals you want and to move forward, to just being happily roaming and always moving forward, or at least until you find another uh, another rock in the path. But for this time, for this set of goal settings, you will be able to take a giant leap forward and just get what is that you want and do it way more easily. It won't be as hard as it was before, and you will have friends with you, and it's just going to develop in a little bit slow at the beginning, because you know that changing the way you see things is not always the easiest. And of course, when something is new, it takes a little bit to adapt. But once you get that flowing, I can see you will be accomplishing all those goals that you've been wanting to, all those goals that you will be working at to set. And you may already have all goals, but if you do, just don't just keep them, revisit them, and whatever it is that you still want, sure, keep them, absolutely, but change, add new ones, erase those that are not relevant to this, to yourself anymore. We all evolve, we all change, our necessities change, our desires change. So whatever it is, really work into those goals. Just don't, whatever you had goals from the New Year's, it's November already. Some things you might have accomplished already, some things you might have not, but there's no point in working in what doesn't serve you, just because it was a goal about 11 months ago, 10 months ago actually. So change the way you see them, change the way you see how to get those goals, and change the way you see those goals in general. Erase those goals that don't serve you anymore, that you don't care about anymore, and improve. Maybe those goals that you already accomplished, maybe you can keep moving forward. If I'm just going to give you one of the most basic examples that people have goals during New Year's, is like losing weight. Let's say you wanted to lose 10 pounds. Let's just make it something easier, or 12, like 1 pound a month. Something very easy. Maybe you already lost those 12 pounds, and you stop working on it because you already accomplished them, but you still have 2 months left. This is just starting on November, and then you have the whole December. You can make another goal to lose a little bit more. Why not? If your goal was to elevate your earnings during this year and you already done so, then you can adjust it, and but to keep trying more. Maybe if you are an entrepreneur and you sell stuff, again, sell more, or travel more, whatever it is. Like take assessment to that, change the way you see it, both the goals and the way to accomplish all of them, and yeah, that will move you forward. So let's get to the following cards to get some clarity on all of this. So that was very clear, especially with big arcanas. Okay, so we have the card that says not for you, an observer. And this is definitely in correlation with this. So there are things that are not for you. As I was just saying, there are some, and these two cards are touching this. So there are some goals that are not for you anymore, are not gonna serve you anymore. Let them go. And there are ways of doing things that are not for you, that you were looking at things that is just look at them differently. Change those goals that are not for you, and change those methods that are not for you. And then I see here the observer. So again, change the way you observe those goals and actions and just everything around you. Pay attention to details and actually start looking forward, start looking to the new path, to the new goals, to the new way of doing things, so you can move forward. Here we have peace. It says, I am a being of love and I release all the negative energy. And again, we see this line of changing and looking good from bad, eliminating anything that is not from you, for you, I'm sorry, not for you. And finally, again, release everything negative, release all negative energy, whatever doesn't work for you. There might not be negative in C, but if it's not for you, then why keep it? It's not good. And finally, in this side, we see purpose. I know what I am here to do. So again, we see this path. You're going to start moving forward. You're going to change the way you see things. You're going to start observing your path ahead, keeping into account, yeah, your goals, of course, but it will be new goals. So that all this process, all these actions will not only show you your purpose. Sorry, I didn't realize, wasn't see. Not only show you what's your purpose and what you want, like you will be moving forward with purpose and knowing what it is that you want to accomplish and knowing how you want to accomplish them, and you will know exactly what you're here to do. And I have just 2 more cards, and they say attack, pain, fear, judgment, and any form or separations are merely calls for help. You know, release everything that's negative. So I see right here you have to release attack, you attacking others, and release whoever is attacking you. Just let it go. Do your best to release fear. I know that's not easy, but do your best. Work. Maybe this can be one of your goals. Work on releasing pain, work on releasing fear. And then the final card I have is in any moment I can surrender to the powerful presence of love through prayer, contemplations, and stillness. And again, this goes with these cards, like changing the way you contemplate things. Prayer, if you do believe in prayer, it can also be meditations, like right here it says stillness. Whatever works for you, whatever is your ritual for surrendering to love, then that is something that you will have to do, and it will just help you not only this week, but just in everything that you want to do, just in being grounded and achieving whatever it is that you want, achieving that peace. And again, like this, the prayer, contemplation, and stillness is part of your purpose, is part of what it will just help you to center, and then you will be able to move forward. Don't forget about this. Don't try to say you don't have time for this. Always make at least a couple of minutes for working on yourself, working on your spirituality. So this is it. It's a very big reading. Looks like there will be quite a lot of things moving and changing this week, and that's a lot for 7 days. So I really hope this was helpful for you. Let me know by leaving a comment, giving a like if you want to see more of these weekly readings, and if you don't mind just being subscribed to just one more channel here in the YouTube world, I will really appreciate that, and I will see you on my next video. Bye bye, take care.